Now let's be honest, Reaper of Souls is still many months away, but that just means we have all the more time to prepare. G'day, ZiggyD here, and in this video I want to run you guys through what I'm doing to prepare for Reaper of Souls, and maybe you guys will get something from it about what you can do to prepare for Reaper of Souls as well. I'll talk a little bit about what's going to be important to take with you into the expansion pack as well. So, let's jump straight into it with what I want to achieve essentially, because having your list of goals is important to know what you actually want to prepare for, basically. Well, when Reaper of Souls drops, I want to be able to try all of the new character skills. I want to be able to try every single one of them for all of the classes, so I can actually figure out which class is the most fun to play, and of course to bring content on all of those towards you guys. Now, 10 extra levels and all of the skills that come with those is enough to significantly change the way each class can potentially play. Of course, we'll still be able to play our whirlwind, barbs, and etc., but with a bunch of new skills, there's going to be a bunch of new builds, potentially a bunch of new builds, and while Barb might be the most effective now, maybe after the expansion pack, one of the other classes might be the most effective. Hopefully Demon Hunter will be the most effective, but probably not, but we'll wait and see. But we don't know, essentially, which class is going to be the best. So, I want to be able to have a chance to try each one of those out and be ready to play the one that I find the most fun and that is the most effective come the patch. So, my step 1 in the ZiggyD action plan for preparing for Reaper of Souls is to get all of my character classes up to level 60. Now the footage you'll be seeing in the background is me getting power leveled on a monk, because the monk is one of those classes I don't have to 60. In fact, at the moment I only have a Demon Hunter and a Wizard to 60 at the moment, and the Demon Hunter is geared pretty well, and the Wizard isn't geared very well at all. Pretty bad. I tried to gear it to be a Blizzard Wizard and it just didn't end up working out. It ended up being terrible. And I don't think it can even farm MP0 Act 3 very effectively. So, pretty bad. I might have to improve that a little bit. But, yes. So I want to be able to have all of those classes there because, first time around, first Diablo 3 drop, I only really had Demon Hunters to make videos on, which is a bit of a shame. There was a lot of cool builds out there that I could have brought you guys videos on, and I don't want to repeat that mistake, so I'm going to have all of the classes there, ready to make some sick videos on, hopefully. Then, of course, step 2 is to kit out each one of those classes with gear good enough to farm, maybe MP1 to MP3 efficiently, or I'd be kind of even happy with, if they can do MP0 Act 3 well enough, because essentially we can just progress through the next act on MP0 if we want to, progress through the game and level up. We're going to be able to level from 60 to 70 pretty easily if we're already in Inferno, I think. So it shouldn't be too hard to, just kind of take that forwards a little bit on MP0, even if you're not farming MP10 super efficiently. So I'm going to kit those guys out. Now, because I don't have very much gold at all, I've spent it all on my Demon Hunter, I'm probably going to have to dual wield some credit cards, get some credit card dual wielding action going on, but I don't think it'll be anything crazy. I think, like a couple dollars per class will be enough to get some good gear. Gold and gear inflation is pretty huge at the moment, so it's going to be really cheap if you want to prepare and get back into the game ready for Reaper of Souls. If you do want to go the not farming crazy amount and instead just throw a couple dollars at the game, I think maybe like $3 to $5 per class will be enough to get you up and running, good enough to get into Reaper of Souls. And actually, I don't recommend spending more than that. I don't recommend getting MP10 gear for your character unless you want to go uber hardcore, because all of the gear you get now is going to be useless within a week of the expansion pack dropping. We're going to have a whole new set of levels of gear beyond what we currently have, and the screenshots that have already been released of gear coming up in Reaper of Souls show that, yes, the current gear we have, even our, 50 billion Echoing Fury or something like that, is not going to compare to some of the drops that we're going to get higher levels, and probably even some of the only moderately rare drops that we get. So all of the gear you have now will be, defunct come the expansion pack. So just get gear good enough to progress. That's what I reckon. Good enough to progress, and also good enough to farm now if that's what you want to do. So my step 3 in my action plan is to set aside some excellent leveling gear for the Crusader. I'm talking cain set, which I already have, so that's pretty cool. Leroics, I need to get one of those. I'm not sure what prices are like on Leroics at the moment, so that might be one I have to save up for, but we'll see what I can do. I want to get a strength hellfire, which I don't think I have, but I have some decent vite ones, so that might do in a pinch. But I can farm up a strength hellfire pretty easily, I reckon. It only needs to be moderately good. And I want to get some high-end rubies. This is all for the Crusader class. High-end rubies are going to be in high demand, so that's going to be something I think that will be worth investing in maybe, or holding on to at least on your account in preparation for the expansion pack. I don't know why my webcam's changing color. It's very annoying. I'm going to try and figure that out. But yeah, gear up to level up the Crusader once he actually drops. Because I'm going to have all my other characters at level 60 geared up, ready to go. But we're going to have to level up the Crusader from 0, you know, straight through the game. So we're going to get power leveled by a friend, same sort of tactics we use nowadays. Or we'll go through the traditional leveling method. I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet. Obviously, traditional leveling method's going to take a lot longer, but could be fun to actually play that process out and enjoy it again, and also play through the new act in the previous difficulties as well. Could be pretty interesting, but we'll see how it goes, because I kind of like that discovering the skills and testing them out, because then you get a chance to actually try each rune, whereas if you just jump into Inferno, you probably just jump straight to whatever is the most, seemed to be the most effective at the time. But we'll see what I do for that. But I'll just have that leveling gear planned out and ready to go, just in case I want to power level him up. And then once I've done all of that, which is going to take probably most of the time if I'm not going, you know, full on at it, I'll probably then use my most efficient character at the time to farm for Paragon experience. As a lot of you guys probably already know, in Reaper of Souls, all of our Paragon XP is going to be converted over to the new Paragon level system. Now what this means is, it's kind of, there's some confusion about this, but what this actually means is, if you have 2 level 100 Paragon characters, you'll get 200 Paragon levels in the expansion. That makes sense, right? But if you have a level 100 and a level 50, then you're not going to get 150 levels. You're probably going to get something like 130, because the Paragon XP scales as you move up through the levels, and we don't know the exact scaling for that now. But what it means, the most efficient way to prepare yourself in terms of how many Paragon levels you're going to get in the conversion is to farm on your most Paragon XP getting efficient character. So if you've got a barb that can farm a high MP with Whirlwind, then you probably want to keep farming on him. But at the moment, my Demon Hunter is my most efficient. I can farm on MP 3 or 4 with reasonable efficiency. It's pretty hard to get a Demon Hunter really going. But that's my most efficient at the moment. But I say my most efficient class at the time once I've got all the other ones leveled up, because it might end up being the case where I throw $5 at a barb that I get to level 60, and it ends up being able to do MP 3 or 4 with Whirlwind and being more efficient than my Demon Hunter. That would be sad. That would be sad. That would be pretty devastating, because I've been working on that Demon Hunter forever. But if that's the case, then I'll just do whatever is most efficient. And from playing the barb on the console, the barb is a lot of fun, so oh well. But yeah, that's my 4-step plan, is to level up my characters to 60, kit them out with gear good enough to progress once the new act comes out, set aside some excellent leveling gear for the Crusader, and then use my most efficient character to farm for Paragon XP. Now, the stuff I'll be holding onto in preparation for the expansion pack, once I get to that point where I'm just farming, of course you're going to be getting some drops and things like that. You know, I'll be selling whatever I can get. Some gold is okay. Gold's not going to have a ton of value, I don't think, in the expansion pack, but there'll be an initial burst where it'll be useful to get your hands on some of the new gear that drops from other people. But things like demonic essences are going to be good to save up. I don't think you'll need a huge amount of them, but they are going to be used in some of the new recipes. It also looks like there's going to be some new crafting materials as well. So having those demonic essences covered, which just means we can focus on the new materials. We don't need to go back and farm demonic essences at all. So I'll be holding on to those. I won't be using those to craft or anything, I don't think. Next up, I'll be holding onto some high-level gems that I'll get my hands on. Maybe I'll even buy some and set them aside, because they'll be used to add affixes to items via the Mystic in Reaper of Souls as well. So that'll be pretty handy. And once we actually get to endgame in Crusader Reaper of Souls, we'll be able to start crafting with the Mystic and improving our gear and making some sick gear. But that might take a while, but having those gems set aside will be handy for that. And I think rubies will be in very high demand, so if I get any rubies, I'll be setting those aside, I'll be upgrading those, and I'll be maybe buying some rubies ready for people that want to power level when the expansion pack comes out, because there's going to be a lot of demand for rubies then. And for the Crusader in general, having 2 strength classes finally will mean that rubies in general will be much high demand, even though they're already a pretty high demand particular type of gemstone. Anyway, hopefully this gives you guys some insight. I'm mixing up my words today, but yeah, that's my plan. Let me know your plan if you have a different plan in the comments below. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.